quick, you only have 10 seconds to leave a like and subscribe if you guys want all rewards and levels unlocked on your personal Fortnite account for completely free. Do you want a free Fortnite Chapter 2 Battle Pass?
Yes.
Well, simply make sure you subscribe to the channel with the bell ticked and comment your Epic Game ID down below, that way I can potentially gift you the Chapter 2 Battle Pass. We're also getting so close to 850,000 total subscribers, so everybody watching the video right now, if you're not subscribed, hit the big red button and you potentially could be that 850,000 subscriber. Want me to send even bigger and better things to more of you guys whilst also supporting me? Well, simply make sure to use code FriendlyMachine in the item shop. Let me know also in the comment section if you're rocking the code and your Epic Games ID, that way I can hook some of you guys up with some V-Bucks. The Fortnite Blackout event is over and finally introduced us to our brand new Fortnite Chapter 2 map. Despite this being a brand new map, there's many things pulled back from our prior times of Fortnite in Chapter 1 that are either Easter eggs or entire named locations such as Salty Springs, Pleasant Park and Retail Row. The first thing I want you guys to note of upon hopping into your first game, there's going to be tons of bots filled in this game as skill-based matchmaking is now implemented, so don't play too defensive to earn yourself that victory royale, because honestly, it should be more of a walk in the park than any other game you play throughout this season. Also, speaking of the umbrella, yeah, you might want to be getting this. It looks honestly really cool. Probably the best victory royale umbrella we've received in Fortnite thus far. With that said, before we get too off track, your map should look like this right now, full of grey areas, ultimately incentivizing you to explore them, as when you land at each specific kind of grey area, it will then light up as if you visited there, revealing what the named location will be. And if you don't know what the named locations are or where they're positioned, here is the full map on screen. But without any further ado, considering a lot of people will want to go with their comfort zone and land where they know, for example the 3 named locations, Retail Row, Salty Springs and Pleasant Park, I figured I'd show you guys all named locations in this video and even some juicy Easter eggs pointing toward the storyline developments that we're going to be seeing within the upcoming weeks. Make sure you're sticking around and watching the full video today, because each named location will have a 40-second showcase and screen time so that you guys can get the best look possible in a very easy manner. Our first Easter egg is not a named location, which actually should be on our map anyways. Risky Reels recreated, as you can see by the driving sign, R&R representing once was Risky Reels from our prior map but pulled into our Fortnite Chapter 2 map. Honestly, this looks really insane with the colour scheme that they're going with for our map in Fortnite Chapter 2, and they've basically hit the nail on the head of remastering this with all the cars and the chest layout where we can actually go to a trunk of a car and then claim some loot. Most importantly, however, a big screen that maybe some things are going to be broadcast on, maybe perhaps also linking to our storyline. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Moving swiftly on to our first named location on the map itself, we have Steamy Stacks. Now this is a very interesting location because, well, is that Kevin? Is it glowing or supplying this power plant with energy, or is being harvested from the cube itself as it's called Kevolution energy? I guess we're yet to know, but this implies that because Kevin didn't explode or have any involvement during the live event of Season X, that its energy is being harnessed as it's being pulled through into this dimension now of Chapter 2. The most interesting thing, however, is in the outskirt waters. As you can see, this robot obviously pulled back through time also, which foreshadows the return of the robot and maybe even the Polar Peak monster due to this substance being harnessed. If you guys like the beachside or the cliffside areas of Fortnite anyways, or are growing to like them in this new chapter, then Craggy Cliffs is going to be a landing spot for you. Or somewhere that perhaps, considering it's on the water's edge or the kind of perimeter of the map, that you rock up to on a boat full of your squad members. There we just saw a tilted town kind of themed clock tower, and obviously there's tons of sand around this area. It's not too big, but at the same time there's definitely a lot of chests to loot, so make sure you actually try it here and try to get a victory royale, because then you will be marking off another named location, making your map not completely grey. Heading more central toward our island, we stumble across the remastered Pleasant Park with the Fortnite Chapter 2 colour scheme and textures. One small Easter egg is added here though, despite obviously remastering the structures that were already there, the rebuild of this entire building that was originally destroyed by the Polar Peak monster's foot in Season 9. This was actually never repaired, but we did see some updates actually teasing an It 2 collaboration that never came to the game. Heading toward our outskirts kind of again, or a lagoon-esque area, we have Sweaty Sands. Now the name in itself may be enough to put you off landing here, as this may be treated as Tilted Towers V2 for Fortnite Chapter 2. Obviously a lot of people are going to be jumping and diving off this dock if you shoot at them once instead of building, because now, yes, diving into water and swimming is a new mechanic or feature in this version of Fortnite Chapter 2, the first season of this new map anyways. But there is a ton of things to do here and a ton of things to explore, being one particular kind of holiday resort that has a ton of chests inside. So if you land here, make sure to get to that enormous hotel resort that's very hard to not notice. Holly Hedges is next up on our radar, or should I say our map, because this predominantly is the Fortnite Chapter 2 map we're looking at. There's not many Easter eggs here, however. The name Holly Hedges correlates directly to what the name location consists of, being hedges, and more specifically greenery and gardening, as there is a garden centre slap bang in the middle, and we've never seen a named location like this before in Fortnite history, whether it's just implemented to our map randomly through seasonal change or pulled back through one of the rift zones that we saw sprout around several named locations in our last Fortnite season. There's some sort of graffiti on the back of the garden centre right there, which I don't know why is there, but it definitely brightens up the scenery. Apologies for the lag in this next clip, but what are you going to do? The game or this version of Fortnite just came out. If you miss Misty Meadows, having its brief return anyways or didn't get a chance to land there much, in Season X you're going to love Slurpy Swamp, this brand new named location. As you can see, the Slurp sign is above the main building, but this actually consists in a very vast area with sewage that's contaminated running all around the rivers surrounding it. As you can see, it seems to be coming out of a sewage pipe here and also in another spot. This actually could be tied to our storyline in the future, as Fortnite always innovate these underlying storylines that we think we can solve, but they know the true answers. This next name location is kind of an Easter egg in itself, as it's another kind of direct remaster or reimagination of a prior one in our prior map, being called now Weeping Woods from once was Wailing Woods. The style of the buildings has remained, however, from Wailing Woods transitioning into this one in Fortnite Chapter 2, but as you can tell, there's a ton of trees surrounding it, maybe more so than what was contained at Wailing Woods. This will definitely be a spot where people walk out instantly, whether in a full squad or a solo, with 999 wood. So when you're here, make the most of it, because all the trees by the end of the game may be chopped down. From making our way up this dam that we originally saw in the Slurpy Swamps clip, we have a small named location kind of town with another clock tower like in the other prior named location, and this one is called Misty Meadows. This actually has a ton of waterfalls and the dam surrounding it, and is very picturesque. The buildings here look very traditional and honestly not too modern at all, like some of the buildings we're about to get into from transitioning and rotating around the map, but just look at that. It's clear to see that boats were designed to actually transverse around this map, because there's so much of it, not only on the outskirts obviously, but even more so as you reach the middle, with waterfalls actually kind of connecting them. Speaking of the more modern houses and solar panels, well, we've reached the destination they're contained in. This is called Lazy Lake, and definitely strikes me as somewhere that will replace Tilted Towers as the hotspot on our new map now in Fortnite Chapter 2. Everything about this named location is very even. Obviously there's kind of the same style of buildings that literally look very appealing to land at, but obviously will also contain a lot of loot. And from above even on an overview of the map, you guys may even get to resemble to the kind of modern version of Neo Tilted or the design layout on the overview of the map of Tilted Towers. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Heading uphill now to one of the highest locations on the map, we have an OG location. Can you guess which one it is remastered? That's right, Retail Row. This is actually very high up, as previously mentioned, and we can tell this because of the snow that's gathered on the hills surrounding it, making them kind of look like snow-capped mountains. We also have something additionally that Retail Row didn't have in our prior map, this electricity supply running from it and down to the rest of the named locations, but either way, they've done a really good job of making this look similar, don't you think? Heading down the mountain now, we have another named location on the perimeter of the map, the outskirts, called Dirty Docks. Docks implying in itself that there's a lot of boats going to be travelling to and from here, and obviously when being shot at, a lot of people will just simply jump into the water off the edge of this structure. But the warehouses have an uncanny resemblance to Dusty Depot's warehouses that we previously saw, not only in terms of the structural style, but also the colours. We have the blue and the grey. The only thing missing here is actually the red, that's maybe perhaps compensated up for in the crates that we can see at the lower region where the cranes are. Overall, it definitely reminds me of Flush Factory in terms of its design and layout. What do you guys think? Just look at this barn in itself. Do I need to say any more about this name location? Well, it's called Frenzy Farm, but it's actually a remastered version of the OG Fatal Fields location from our prior Fortnite map. Surprisingly, this is very open, with not a lot of areas to actually take cover that are natural, apart from a few trees and a few vehicles, obviously relating to, you know, this farm itself, as it's called Frenzy Farm, being a truck or a tractor or a lawnmower, and multiple things like that. But will you guys be landing here? If so, make sure you've got plenty of mats, because you'll need to build, as there's not a lot of this natural cover, as I've just mentioned. Now we move on to the final name location of this video. This is one of 3, again, that's been pulled back literally through time or from our prior chapter of Fortnite's map, being Salty Springs. Salty Springs was landed at a lot in chapter 1, but there's only one thing changed about it this season, despite just obviously the colouring of the textures and the textures themselves making up this name location. This being the positioning of our beloved gas station that resided at the bottom of the hill directly right here. It's been moved to the opposite side of the road, and as you can see, I'm zooming in where it used to be right now, where seemingly a bus stop has replaced. But that's all I wanted to go over with you guys in today's video. Hopefully, in this short 10-minute recap, you now know what every name location looks like and is called. If you enjoyed, make sure to slap a like in the video down below and subscribe to the channel with, of course, all notifications turned on if you want to keep up to date with storyline content and map changes that happen throughout this next chapter of Fortnite now that we've just gone into, being Fortnite Chapter 2. Hopefully I can recognise you guys from remaining active in the comment section of my future videos to come, and I'm out. Have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Have a good one, take it easy, and as always, peace.